Hello.
Okay, so first off, we'll talk about the accordion in general and how our experiences went with it. So for this project, since I'm the pianist, I got stuck with the accordion, and since Michael's the guitarist, he is
Stuck with the
lucky enough
guitar.
to just accompany me.
I'm stuck with the guitar.
So, um, Michael's grandfather, his no-no, just happened to have two accordions in his garage. So we lucked out on that one. The first one that we tried out was about like 50 pounds and incredibly dusty and old and would barely move. And one day when I was just fooling around with it, like the first time I took it out of the case, one of the buttons here actually fell all the way through. So I tried to take it apart and um, to see if I could fix it, and it was unfixable. So we went on to the next one, which is actually perfect.
Yeah, we actually found this one in his garage too. And the most Italian thing you can find is something with a sticker from a second-hand store. So yeah.
Yeah.
This is very Italian.
Yeah. So we were lucky enough to just already have our new instrument. It is a piano accordion because it has keyboard on one side and then all the buttons on the other side, and it's an accordion. So we thought, well, I thought at least, that it would be fairly simple to do because, you know, there's a piano on one side of it, and if you can play piano, then you think you can play the accordion. It's not really the case. Yeah, it took a lot more effort than I thought it was going to take. So to start out, we'll talk about the keyboard side. It's weird because you can't actually see what you're doing. Well, I guess now like I can see, but because when you're playing piano, it's all in front of you. You can see where your hands are going. But here, like this, I can't actually see what's going on here. So you have to kind of trust your instincts and go along with it. And yeah, so that was a little tough to get oriented with. And it was kind of hard for me to like use my normal fingering because for some reason I just got thrown out of whack with how it was upright instead of horizontal. Especially like playing chords. For some reason I just thought it was weird. So it got some getting used to. So then the button side was what I actually had to research and figure out how to play, because you look at it and it has no indication of what it is. So I can't really show it on the camera, but this key right here has a little bit of an indentation, and in my research I found that in some older accordions, or maybe even in some accordions now, and this one just doesn't have it, there would be like a little gem-ish type thing that would be here, and it would actually stand out. But for right now, it's just kind of inundated, inundated.
Oh.
That like keyboards have on two of the keys just to orient yourself. This is actually C, and so this whole first row and this whole second row here are just bass notes. So that is a C2, I think. The C that's on the second ledger line in the bass clef. That's a C. And then, so these, like I said, these first two lines are just all single bass notes. And they're arranged in the circle of fifths. So here's C, and that's like the one that we used the most when we were playing our songs. And then we have, this is G, and then on the other side of C is F, and then B flat, and then E flat, right? Would come next.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because then it starts.
And then A, and then D, and it's all a circle of fifths all around there, so it's kind of easy to maneuver. And then what else? Then, oh wait, so after that we have I believe these three rows here are just two notes that are being played at once. So we have C here, and then I'm pretty sure on this one here it'll be they're the two notes that are separated by a fifth. So since this is C, on the one up from it would be C and G, and then if this is this one's G, then this one would be G and D, or no, G and B. Sorry, no, G and D, G and D. So that it kind of gives you that nice sound as opposed to just the one. It gives you two, and then if you go one more up diagonally, it gives you the third. So this is a G and a B flat, like the minor third. So then if we go back to C, we have this single bass note. One up is the fifth, so C and G. And then one more up from that would be the C and the E flat. And then, yeah. So it will take more than just the time that we have before the semester's over to actually master this instrument. But I feel like we got the basics down for these two sides. Anyway, one more thing before I'm done. We covered these two sides, but this thing is actually what caused me the most difficulty, the middle of it. Because for some reason, I could not figure out how to actually, pull it in and pull it out. So, yeah. Let me edit this part out.
Yeah.
Okay. So, because when you pull it out and you push it in, it what's the word? It re-hits or
resets?
Replays. It restates the note again. So you pull it out and you push it in. It says the note again. So same thing happens for like a bass note. Where's my C? Right? So for some reason I kept wanting to do, every time I switched a bass note, my brain just said, okay, push in, and okay, push out, push in, push out, push in, push out. But if you have a melody going on up here where a note would be held longer than the bass note, it would be played again. So I had a really hard time actually figuring out how to actually do the pushing and the pulling, and I figured out it's kind of like a phrasing thing. I don't know if that's actually what it is, but that's just what we figured out. I had to watch a lot of YouTube videos to figure out how to actually do it, and especially like the two folk songs that we're doing, what I mainly did was watched the musicians playing them. And I said, okay, so they're pulling out for that long, and then they're pushing in for that long, and, etc. And I kind of got it. It's not perfect, but I think I got the most out of what I could. And as for learning how to do it, like I said, we mimicked a lot of YouTube videos, and to get started, to figure out this, we did watch some basic tutorials, but they weren't too in-depth. So
they were more like, what's a scale?
Yeah, and we already knew that.
Yeah.
So we just used our musicianship to kind of figure out how to do it.
Yeah.
And so we did go buy we went buy some sheet music to kind of get started. But then after that, we just played a lot by ear, honestly, which I feel like is what people in the Italian culture do anyway. If they're all just jamming together, that's what they do. They just pick up what each other does.
Even for the chords, a lot of the chords on the charts we found weren't right. So we just kind of she played the melody, and then I played the chords, and she tried to figure out the bass notes, all simultaneous.
Yep. So that is pretty much a brief summary of how we actually went about learning the accordion. Yeah. Thanks for watching.
Stay tuned.
Stay tuned.